Hey everyone, Jonny here from Journal, and today I want to talk about this weird feeling that some of you are going through right now, or that you will be going through in a year's time or whenever you do the HSC, and that is the post-HSC blues. So I've seen a lot of comments recently on Facebook discussion groups where students are coming out and saying, hey, I actually feel really low. Is anyone else feeling kind of depressed since finishing the HSC? And what I want you to know is that that's a very normal feeling, very natural feeling. It's something that I went through. It's something that I know a lot of people go through every year. And in fact, I went through that same experience after every semester of university when I finished the semester exams. Okay, and that is a feeling of burnout, of exhaustion, of cognitive and intellectual fatigue. The HSC is likely to be, as it was for me, the first time that you've exerted yourself intellectually and cognitively at such a high pace and intensity that when you get to the end of it, there is this void there, right? You had a goal, you all had a common goal, right? To do your best in your HSC exams. So what you're looking at now, what you're confronted with now is this feeling that, hey, I no longer have that purpose. I actually feel a little bit empty because what you've been doing for the last few weeks, for the last few months, for the last year, is dedicating yourself, and of course, everyone to different extents. Some of you might be thinking, look, I didn't work that hard, but there are a lot of students out there who worked super hard and you were dedicated to the one goal of doing the best you could in the HSC. And when you get to the end of that road, there is a natural feeling, it's an existential kind of philosophical reality that you're going to feel empty and devoid of purpose. But I remember that day that I finished the exams, I had my friend actually waiting for me outside the hall with a case of beer. A lot of us were down by the water, just having a drink, celebrating. And I remember feeling kind of empty at that time. And I was like, why do I feel like this? I should feel amazing. But the reality was I was exhausted. I was burnt out. And there is an immediate sense that you don't have that same goal anymore. And I enjoyed having that goal. I enjoyed working towards it. And I'm sure a lot of you did too. Even the people out there who say they don't enjoy study or they don't enjoy exams, I'm sure even you enjoyed that feeling of fulfillment, enjoyed that feeling of satisfaction, of having achieved something at the end of each day or at the end of each week or at the end of each month, right? Actually having set a plan and a goal and accomplished it, worked towards it, even if not entirely. Just having spent, 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours, maybe for some of you it was just a couple of hours a day, but just to sit down and do the work and strive towards that one goal of doing as well as you could in your HSC exams is huge, and it's going to take a toll. You would have felt very fulfilled, very satisfied, no doubt, and I certainly felt that during my exams. Every time I did a set of exams, there'd be this huge sprint. It's like an intellectual sprint. And you're exerting yourself so much more than you have before. At uni, you'll have 9 or 10 weeks where you're slowly doing more and more work throughout the semester. But when it comes to your final exams, and it does depend a little bit on your course, there are going to be 3, 4, maybe 5 weeks where you are at 100% capacity. You are using all of the brain power that you have to work towards the goal of completing your exam successfully. And when you get to the end of that, you're going to feel that lack of purpose, that emptiness there, because you no longer have that goal. You need to make a new goal. And that's very normal. The other side of this is that you've just gone through a period of exerting an incredible amount of intellectual energy that actually generates a lot of cortisol. You've had a lot of stress running through your body. And having all that cortisol pumping, all that adrenaline during the exams, is going to take a toll as well. So there is a natural physiological and biological response here where your body needs to recharge. So there are the two core reasons why you're probably feeling the way you are if you have got those post-HSC blues, and maybe you're kind of shocked that you don't actually want to go out and celebrate as much, or maybe you didn't the day that you finished the exams or for a few days after. And that's normal. So my advice for that is that you should rest up, you should let your body recover, but I would also implore you to try and push through it a little bit and enjoy this time that you're sharing with everyone in your cohort, because it's a very unique time. You've all just had this shared experience. Yeah, I know that's the common module rubric. We've got to get away from that now, which is really unique. Imagine doing this set of exams, working towards this common goal with tens of thousands of people your age in your same state, and now you've all finished at the same time and you can all celebrate together. That's a very unique period of time in your lives. So make sure that you understand that yes, it's normal to feel the way you are, but also maybe I should just push myself to go out a little bit. It doesn't mean go and exhaust yourself and have all-nighters or anything like that. I'm not saying to do that. What I'm saying is you also don't want to miss this opportunity to celebrate even if you're not feeling 100%, because I know from personal experience, as I pushed through and as I went out and I spoke to people, yeah, I didn't feel great. And sometimes I chose not to go out, but I still wanted to embrace that time to share it with others and realize, hey, we just went through that together. There's a sense of camaraderie, and it is nice to go out and it's very good for you to socialize. That's going to jack up your dopamine and serotonin, and that's actually gonna help you feel better, just from a physiological point of view. But understand it's normal how you're feeling. You need to recharge, so let yourself recover. Have a few quieter days, but make sure you're exercising, do things that are gonna get the dopamine back up, and you'll be okay. That's the thing, it's very normal, it's a natural experience. Once you finish school, to be honest, you get more and more used to going through this kind of roller coaster of emotions. When I was at school, I didn't really notice those fluctuations. Of course, adolescence is a whole thing, and going through puberty and feeling all these weird hormonal changes and things like that, that's its own thing, and I'm kind of separating that out. But until after school, I didn't notice how distinct these periods can be, where you have these periods where you feel really high on life and you feel kind of euphoric, and I'm just talking about in the natural day-to-day kind of course of life. And then you have periods where you just, for no reason, no ostensible reason, there may be reasons, but I'm just talking separate to all of that, reasons where you just feel a little bit lower in your energy, you feel a little bit more flat, you feel a little bit depressed, and you kind of just learn to work through those waves, okay? We want to minimize those lows, and you might think, oh, and you want to maximize the highs. I actually don't think that's a good solution either, because the higher you go, the higher the highs, the lower the lows, okay? So as you go through life now, try and get used to accepting and surrendering to these feelings of being low, and then becoming more and more aware of the kinds of things that are going to help you get back to your baseline mood and level of contentment. Okay, so you want to work towards those things. Maybe it's exercise. For me, it's often socializing, but then also balancing that with having my own time, but doing things that are healthy. Look, I've gone on a bit of a rant there. I just want you to know that if you've just gone through this experience, or you're still going through it and you feel a little bit empty, you're lacking a little bit of inspiration or purpose, I just want you to know that it's completely normal. I've gone through it a ton of times. I know a lot of other people who have as well, and we're all in this together. It's natural in life to have these highs and lows. You don't need to think that, suddenly, you are a depressed person. No, you're just probably feeling depressed because of the reasons we've talked about, those physiological reasons, those philosophical, existential reasons, but you will create new purpose again. You will have uni, or maybe you have a gap year and you're gonna work towards that. I'll talk about that in another video, of course, but there are things that are going to come up and you'll be excited for those things, and you'll create new milestones to achieve. But it does reinforce the importance of having goals in life, but it also reinforces the importance of allowing your body to recover when you achieve a very distinct goal that has required an intense amount of effort. So I hope that helps shed some clarity on it. I mean, I can certainly relate to this experience. It's very common. I'm happy people are talking about it. And if you do have any comments about this or questions, leave them below. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one.